The all-new Bandwagon Morning Show right here on the all-new Power 104.4 FM. The underground phone lines are wide open. Come on in this morning. We got a special guest sitting in with us, and we want you to chime on in and come on in this morning. 980-224-0520. Again, that number, 980-224-0520. Jumping on the bandwagon this morning, introducing actor Joshua T. Shipman. What's going on, brother? Good morning to you, man. Welcome to the Queen City.
Wake up.
That part. We in here, baby. Yeah, man. And it's a little chilly outside, too, by the way.
Yeah, man. The weather went from, 80-something to 30?
It changed up like, what? Quick. Man, I would like to say a couple of hours, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I was
That's what
outside.
it really seemed like, though.
What?
That cold front came through cold.
It came through burn. like the old Gucci, man.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show, man.
For sure.
First and foremost.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Man, it's our pleasure. Our pleasure. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Cool. Let them know where you're coming from. Where you hailing from?
Man, I am coming from Hallsboro, North Carolina. Shout out to Hallsboro, North Carolina, Columbus County. Shout out to the whole county. Yeah, that's where I'm from, man.
No doubt. And welcome to the Queen City. I know we were talking a little bit off air, so you got some ties and relationships here in the city as well. You come through often enough.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's good right there. That's a beautiful thing. Shout out to my man, AK. He's in the building as well. Jumping on the bandwagon this morning. What's going on, AK?
Nothing much, man. Living the dream.
Living the dream, man. You know, we were just talking about that, too, living the dream. So let's get right into it. How long have you been acting, man? Talking about living the dream. How long have you been acting?
Man, pretty much since childhood, man. From childhood plays to high school theater, man, all together, I'd say over 10 years, man.
Over 10, at least a decade.
At least a decade, yeah.
Okay. And you said it started at childhood age.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think got you into acting? What was that thing that you think really drew that out of you to make you want to act as a youth?
In all honesty, man, I think I was just born with the bug, man. And the more I saw it, the more I looked at TV, the more the bigger my imagination became. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I'm looking at TV and I'm like, those people must live some wonderful lives, man, doing this stuff. Just looking behind the scenes, I'm like, I'm gonna do that. Like as a little kid, I'm gonna do that. Like whenever I get older or whatever, I'm gonna do that. So just being outside and having that wild imagination as a kid already. And I'm jumping off ladders. I'm doing this. I'm in action films in my head.
You already living it.
I was already living it when I was a little kid. But yeah, that's pretty much where it came from. And I think I was just born with it, man. I mean, I come from a very, very talented family. Okay. My sisters, man, voices out of this world, man.
So we got some musicians and vocalists in there too?
God, man, yes.
So we covering the whole celebrity board right now. Red carpet for everybody.
Artists, visual artists, drawing artists, man, singers. My family's very talented, man. I'm shout out to the fam.
That's what's you say I come from a rich bloodline, in other words. Gotta shout out the home team. Yeah. So how did you get into acting? How did you actually what was that first step into acting?
I think I really stepped into it, man, during my high school years. And it was weird because 9th grade I was just shy. You know what I'm saying? I was very shy, I was very reclusive, and which I've always pretty much been to myself. Mm-hmm. But I finally auditioned for a play around 10th grade, and it was like, dude, where have you been? Like, we've been looking for you. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, I was kind of hidden. I'm trying to get the whole feel of high school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I got into it, and I loved it. I said, this is what I wanted to do, and you can feel it. If it's something you really want to do, that energy, man, it's unlike any other. You know what I'm saying? You feel it as soon as you start doing it, man. It's a love.
Yeah. No doubt. And that passion, that energy, and that, I think one big thing for me in doing anything you love doing, you have to have passion.
For sure.
And that energy that you feel mixed with that passion, oh man, that feeling is like outer body experience almost, man.
It's fuel to the fire.
Ooh, it's a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful.
Wonderful.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So what's your background? Let's talk to the people. What's your background? How did you get into acting as far as what was your training?
Well,
do you have any formal training in acting? Are you self-taught essentially?
I do have some training. I think most of my training came from just regular theater classes, taking theater, theater voice, stage presence, characterization, all that kind of stuff. And I think I really got into that in my university years. Shout out to UNCP.
Go ahead and plug it, baby. Plug it, baby.
You know, definitely shout out to UNCP. That's where my acting professor, Holden Hansen, he pretty much reinforced my dreams. When I went to Pembroke, that's when everything, my wheels started churning again. Like, okay, I really need to start working towards doing what I want to do, which is acting. And he really, like, just seeing some of the things that he's done, all of the movies that he was in, he did a lot. He did a lot of stuff. And, you know, to see his intensity in acting, that pretty much rubbed off on me around that time. And that's when I started doing a lot of theater at UNCP, starting with The Crucible.
Okay.
I was John Proctor in The Crucible. Oh, man. Man, that was one of the most challenging, intense
I bet I was gonna say
productions
intense.
I've ever been in. Yeah. But it was wonderful. Turnout was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they loved it. Yeah.
What was that feeling like, the energy? What, like, after a stage play, especially because I know stage plays are a little different.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to, you know, that versus, say, acting on the big screen. So
Yeah.
after a stage play, what's that energy like, man?
Oh, man. And I'll give you a fun fact. One of the shows, man, one of the days, I was literally on stage in the middle of, we were almost in the middle of the show, and I literally forgot my lines. And to this day, nobody ever noticed it. There's just like, because I'm pretty much trying to recite the 10 Commandments. Okay. You know, when they were questioning him on his 10 Commandments, and I played it off like, you know, I'm thinking about it. Damn, I forgot my lines. And I'm like, but it came back to me though. But the way I played it off was just like, because you know what it plays, there's no cut.
Yeah.
There's no, all right, let's do this again. So I'm like, come on.
This is live, baby.
This is live. And then I was like, oh, boom. And then it came back
so
to
it came back to you.
Yeah.
So what do you do in that moment though? Like, what was it like? Was that it?
Dude, I was
tense? Like,
it was like, 'cause all eyes were like
yeah,
right here.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm trying not to panic. I'm trying my best not to panic, man. But it all came back to me, man. In all honesty, I feel like that was God in that moment, because it was like, dude, I could have dropped everything.
Yeah.
And I was the main guy.
Ooh.
I could have dropped everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole play
went
down, crashed.
Could have went sideways, man.
Yeah, especially with you being the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it brought it back, man. But after a play, it's amazing. You know, everybody was, I shocked myself. The first show we did, I shocked myself, man, because I was just like, I think I gave too much energy. But
you felt like I gave too much of myself.
Yeah, but people, they
poured
loved
it, man.
Yeah, they loved it. So after that, and you know, after that first show, it was just a walk in the park after that, man. And each show, you know, you just got to give 110% every night. You know, you can't slack off, because I think overall throughout about 4 or 5 days, the show probably brought in like 600 people.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, throughout the whole time.
That's a good look.
Yeah,
that's a good look. Okay. What do you have any mentors? Anybody that you could attribute any of you? I know you were speaking on one of your professors. Would you consider him a mentor?
Yeah, definitely. Holden Hansen, because he saw something in me, literally, and he was like, "Hey, man, I really see something in you. I think you can really do some good things in this industry." And you know, you already have that belief in yourself, but you know, you're coming from, you know, where I'm from, we call it, you know, you're coming from the sticks, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is just a kid with a passion. And you go into these classes, and these professors are looking at you like, this kid is for real.
Like, he's taking this serious. He's serious. Yeah.
Like, this is not just a class for him to pass. This is my passion.
It's life. This is yeah.
So, him and the whole theater department, everybody who saw something in me, whether it was my voice or whether it was my presence, anyone who ever saw anything to me, you know, big ups to them.
No doubt. All right, so let's talk about this movie, man. One of the biggest level ups of the career, from my understanding. So, Harriet, the movie.
Yes, sir.
How did we land this role, first and foremost?
Oh, man, I have such a story with this film, man.
Let's talk about it.
Shout out to my agency, Evolution Talent Agency, based in Charlotte.
Yep.
Shout out to them.
Queen City.
Yes, sir. So I got this audition, and I was like, Harriet. All right. And I saw the line. I was like, you know what? And this is one of those moments where us actors, we always kind of downplay ourselves. I was like, man, I'm not going to get this. This is a feature film. I've never gotten a feature film before.
So it's almost like not getting your hopes up. This
right.
is one of those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get my hopes up, man. So my homeboy, I ended up going to, I kind of almost gave up this whole thing, man, as far as like the Harriet thing. So I was going on a road trip with my homeboy and his wife. Shout out to Cool K Photography. Y'all check him out.
Okay.
I ended up going on a road trip to Atlanta with him and his wife, and I kept getting reminders to turn in my audition. I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So I got my homeboy, and we set up some house lighting. Set up
Right at the crib.
Yeah, set up right at the crib. Non-professional setup. I used my phone. And he read for me, and
look at friends. You gotta appreciate good friends.
Gotta appreciate the people who believe in you.
Come on, man.
You know
Salute to your friends. What's his name again?
Cool. His name is Kennard, but everybody calls him Cool.
Cool
with the K.
Cool with the K.
Cool K Photography.
Kennard, all that, man.
Yes,
Salute
sir.
to you, bro, man.
Yeah.
You gotta respect a real one.
Gotta give it a shout out to him, man, because he helped me. He helped me do it. I sent it in, and the callback came right after Hurricane Florence. Oh, wow. So it was pretty much like the sunshine after the storm. Because Florence tore it up. Our side, man, the roads were flooded. Man, everything. It was like we were left on a little island for a little while. So I'm sitting in my sister's house, man. I barely have any signal. And all of a sudden, ding, I have an actor's access, what we call C-mail.
Okay.
All the actors know what that C-mail means when you get that C-mail. So it was like, you have a callback audition for Harriet. I was like, whoa. Blew me away. And so we're going back and forth. The agent and I, Erica Arvold Casting in Virginia, shout out to them. We're going back and forth about because we're trying to figure out how am I going to get there, because, dude, like, the roads were, like, destroyed at this moment in time. But, the roads opened up. I got to the audition, and I'm thinking it's going to be a simple, read for one character type thing, and I'm out. I ended up auditioning, reading for like 7 different characters.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't even get the character I initially went in for. I didn't get that character. So I ended up with the Philadelphia vendor, which is the role that I'm in now. And so I read for it. I think about a week or two later, I started getting these emails. You're in consideration for this character. You're in consideration for that character. You're in consideration for this character. And then it narrowed it down. You booked the Philadelphia vendor.
There it is.
Dude, blown away, man. Blown away.
We are sitting down with the Philadelphia vendor
Yes,
right
sir.
now, man. On the new movie, Harriet.
Yes, sir.
We're going to take a quick break, get into this music. We're going to come right back. Joshua T. Shipman is in the building. Sitting down with Joshua T. Shipman right now, the all-new Bandwagon Morning Show right here on the all-new Power 104.4 FM. AK is in the building as well, jumping on the bandwagon. You got something you want to chime in on, right?
Yeah, man. I was wanting to know, man. I know you were talking about you used to roll around in the yard and jumping off ladders and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what was like one of your first favorite action superheroes that you watched on TV that kind of inspired you to act or whatnot?
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
For you to say you've been jumping off of ladders.
Yeah, that was a real good one.
That was a good one.
Man. Meteor Man.
Ooh.
Gotta be Meteor Man. What's his name?
Townsend.
Robert Townsend.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's one of the
That's
first
a good one.
superhero movies.
Especially for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the first I remember seeing. And I don't even know how it came back up. But when you asked that, I was like, yes. Man, Meteor Man, that was one of my favorite movies growing up, man. I was like, yo, I don't know how this dude, like, the Meteor Man, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, that was definitely one of my first action movies, man, that I've seen. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And it had the hip hop culture to it and everything, man. I was like, wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that was a dope one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That's a good question right there, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So back to the acting, though, I definitely want to know, what's the process like for an actor, or for you exclusively? Like, what's your process like? Where do you go?
Man.
Mentally, where do you have to go
depending on the character, like I always say, because this is one thing you have to live by, man. If you're acting, then you're doing it wrong.
Ooh, so in other words, you have to live the character. You have to be the character.
You have to be that character,
yep,
man.
That makes sense.
You can't act the character. You have to be it.
You know what? Me and a friend of mine had a conversation the other day. So it's funny you say that. And I was explaining, okay, so I was talking about Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
And I was saying he's a great actor because I feel like every character I've seen him play, he is that character.
He's that guy, man.
He is that character. Like, for instance, Iron Man.
Yep.
Like the cocky businessman who doesn't care about anything. I know everything. I'm not,
Right.
like he really embodies the character. Even when he played in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Do you realize that now I gotta talk about this. Do you realize that this man was the only man I've seen be able to go into blackface and get away with it?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's been talked about a lot. That has been talked about.
But it didn't go anywhere.
But it was funny.
It was funny.
It was funny,
He
man.
held it down.
Yeah.
You couldn't even be mad at
Right.
him.
It
So
was funny.
I definitely feel what you're saying. Like you gotta believe, because as a viewer, I want to believe the character.
Right.
I want to. I don't want to think, he's acting. Like when I see Beyonce acting, I'm like, it's horrible. Like you know, Beyonce, like you're trying too hard.
I
It
didn't say
hurts.
nothing. Jay, I didn't say nothing. I don't know.
Look, I love Beyonce musically. I love Jay acting.
Right.
Nah, I just So I definitely feel what you're saying. Where you have to be the character. That's all I'm saying. I definitely feel that part. So in your process, is there anything else special about your process in particular? Is there a certain juice you have to have? Is it certain, like you want space and quiet time to yourself? Like
Definitely, I definitely need peace, man. Especially when I'm studying the script, because I want to make sure that I'm not leaving anything out. I want to make sure, especially when it's a in-depth character, you want to make sure you have like the right mannerisms, the right speech. You want to make sure that, is this person, your character has to have, layers, so you want to make sure that you embody that character correctly. So peace is definitely good, unless you have a character or something like that who grows up in a big city, so you have to get used to those nuances around you, those sounds around you and stuff like that, because when you're portraying that, you want to make it look like, okay, I'm from a big city. This stuff doesn't bother me. It has an authenticity to it.
Okay. I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. What would you? Not even what? Let me skip this question because I think this is a better question.
Gotcha.
Who would you like to work with?
Oh, man.
Actor and director. I've actually been waiting to ask you this one. So, who's like the ideal actor you would like to co-star with, and who's that director that you feel like I have to work for him at some point in time in my career?
Well, you already know, hands down, favorite actor in the world, Denzel Washington.
Woo, great,
hands
great.
down.
I agree. Okay,
Be
Oh,
great.
okay.
Yeah,
The GOAT.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Whatever you want to
The
call
GOAT.
it.
Yeah.
This man is amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like from his older films to now, like this dude, there's nothing wrong that I can't find about this dude, man. Like every movie, I gotta see it. I don't care.
Thanks.
I don't really do the chick flicks, but if Denzel Washington was in a chick
You
flick,
gonna watch it.
I gotta watch that,
Yeah.
man, because even with Fences, man, and Fences was a dialogue heavy movie, but because he embodied his character so well as he always does, it pulls you into it. You forget about how heavy the dialogue is, because a lot of people were talking about how heavy dialogue it was for Fences. They were looking for like action,
Yeah.
but you have to look at the context of the film as well. Like you have to look at what this was about. So with Denzel Washington, man, he brings that like that. It's nothing.
It's natural. It's
It's
supernatural.
supernatural. But this guy he's super trained as well. Like he trains like no other.
It's like a sport. Like
He's not oh, okay, I'm good, so I'm not gonna. Nah, this dude, he studies like this is his first film. That's what makes him so good.
So I can definitely understand that one. I agree
yeah.
with you on that one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Directors. Who are you
Director.
feeling directors? Who is a must? You have to work with this director at least once in your lifetime.
Man. That's a hard one because there's a lot of good actors and actresses becoming directors now.
Yeah, I seen that too. You are correct. Yeah.
And this is probably something nobody would ever even think of, man. I'd love to, work with like Wes Craven or somebody like that on like a horror film.
Ooh.
I'd love to be in a horror film.
Wow.
That's one of my goals, man, is to get into like a horror film.
Okay.
So because I really think that I could bring something to the table in a horror film. Now I don't know about if I wanted to be the killer or anything. I mean, hey,
you don't know the role just yet, but you think
yeah. Wes Craven, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. Okay.
Okay. Man, Scorsese.
Oof.
Yeah.
Anybody, man. Any of the top dogs, man.
Yeah.
All the way down to the people who are just beginning, man. Hey, if you see something in me, hey, let me know. I'm all for it.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
You see anything, any type of talent.
Anything in me, man, let me know. Like that's to all of it.
No doubt.
Sure.
So what's next for you, by the way? Let's let the people know. What's coming up next for Joshua T?
Man.
Shit.
You know what? I don't know if I can release the title yet, but
More work.
More work is coming.
Okay.
More work is definitely coming. More projects are definitely on the way. I've worked on this series that's coming out next year. It's a Showtime series.
Oh,
I will say that it's a Showtime.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Early.
Appreciate that. It's a limited Showtime series that's coming out. Then I have another one, another series that's coming out. It's on CBS. It's gonna be on CBS.
Okay.
And
Big networks.
yeah, man.
Big networks there, brother.
Gotta get that face out there, man.
Yeah, man.
Gotta get the FaceTime on there so everybody knows, this is me, man. And my hashtag, if anybody has ever followed my social media, my hashtag is from local to global.
Nice.
And
nice.
And that's basically, and I know people are like, why does he always put that in stuff? Well, simply, from local to global. Where am I from? I'm from Hallsboro, North Carolina. Down on the map to most people.
Mm-hmm.
And with that mindset, it's not about where you're from. It's where you want to go. Where do I want to go?
Fact.
I want to be known globally. So from local to global.
Mm-hmm. I can dig that, man.
Yeah.
Don't mind if I hashtag it too.
Yes, sir. Oh, use it, man. Use it, man. It's all about the mindset.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Now, is there any one thing you want to leave your listeners with, your followers with? Anything that you want them to know about you that they may not know? What's that one thing? What don't they know? Are you on the low? Are you like, give me anything. Any one thing that the viewer doesn't already know about you.
I'm a very serious person, but at the same time I'm a very, very goofy person. Like
So there's a hilarious side.
There's definitely a hilarious side to me for sure.
Okay.
But it's all about how well you get to know me. You know what I'm saying? If we vibe well, I mean you'll see. You'll see I'm definitely, some people might find me unapproachable because I'm very reserved. I'm very reclusive sometimes. But at the same time, I'm very social. I'm what do you call it? Ambivert?
Yeah.
I'm both. I can be both.
I've heard that before.
It's like ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like you both. You can be both.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So I can definitely be both, But it all depends on the situation as well. Other than that, man, I'm a very outgoing person, man. I love to meet people. I love to have fun. I love for people around me to have fun. And I'm not with the the drama. I'm not with all that crazy stuff, man. I mean, you see the state this world is in now. It's no time for that.
No time.
There's no time for that, man. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm digging your energy, brother. Got a good vibe about you, good energy about you.
Appreciate that.
We wishing you well in all your future endeavors. For all the listeners, let them know how they can follow you.
Hey, my name is Joshua.T.Shipman. That's on IG. Facebook is pretty much the same thing, Joshua T. Shipman. I have a Twitter. I really don't use Twitter like that. I really don't, man. Like, I just, because I kind of feel like every social media platform is doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
So it's like, but those are my two main ones. Joshua T. Shipman, man. If you want to contact me, send me a DM, whatever. Yeah.
That's what it is,
Legit.
man. We want to thank our guests for jumping on the bandwagon this
Man, I
morning.
appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
AK, go ahead and let them know how they can follow you, bruh.
You can follow me on Instagram at IamAK808, Facebook AK808.
There it
That's
is.
it.
There it is, man. Shouts out to everybody rocking with us this morning, man. Coming up at 2 p.m., of course, my man, the Manny Levine Show. You can catch them live and in the flesh with all kind of crazy antics coming up 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. right here on the all-new Power 104.4. Of course, you can follow myself at JPragmatic1. That's at JPragmatic, the number 1. Make sure you follow our entire squad at The Bandwagon Radio. Again, that's at The Bandwagon Radio. We enjoyed you guys. Hope you enjoyed us. Gonna leave you with this shawty, my type. It's the remix, man. City Girls, Janae Aiko on that thing. It's the Bandwagon Morning Show. Good morning.